The rain falls hard. Thunder crashes in the dark sky. Under a broken bridge, a woman sleeps on wet cardboard. Her clothes are torn and dirty. Her face is covered with mud. She shivers in the cold. Tonight, she has nowhere else to go and no one left to call her name. Lightning flashes. For 1 second, we see her face clearly. She looks so tired, so broken. Her eyes are closed, but tears roll down her cheeks, even in sleep. A rat runs across her feet. She doesn't even move. The camera pulls back. We see the full picture now. This woman who sleeps like a dog under the bridge. She's wearing a gold wedding ring. It's the only clean thing on her body. She holds it tight even in her sleep. Thunder crashes again. The sound is so loud it wakes her up. She opens her eyes slowly. They are empty. Dead inside. She looks at the ring on her finger. Fresh tears come to her eyes. "Samuel," she whispers to the rain. "Why did you leave me alone?" The camera zooms out more. In the distance, across the river, we see something shocking. A huge mansion sits on the hill. Lights shine from every window. It looks like a palace. The contrast is brutal. Heaven and hell in one frame. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our inspiring stories. She doesn't even look at the mansion. She doesn't know that her life is about to change forever. She doesn't know that inside that mansion, someone has been searching for her for 6 long months. This is the story of Amara, a woman who yesterday was a loving wife. Today, she begs on the streets. People turn away when they see her. Children throw stones at her. Nobody knows that this poor woman will very soon become the richest woman in the world. But first, let me tell you how Amara got here. Because every story has a beginning. And Amara's story was once very beautiful. The screen becomes bright and colorful. We see a small but clean house 3 years ago. Flowers grow in the front yard. A woman is cooking in the kitchen. She's humming a happy song. This is Amara. But she looks so different now. Her face is full of life. Her eyes shine with joy. Her smile is beautiful. Amara. A man's voice calls from outside. She runs to the door. A man walks in. He's wearing simple teacher clothes. His name is Samuel. He's not handsome like a movie star, but his face is kind. His eyes are full of love. He picks her up and spins her around. She laughs like a little girl. "Samuel, put me down. The neighbors will see." "Let them see," he says. "Let the whole world see how much I love my wife." He puts her down gently. Then he shows her something. It's a small box. "What is this?" she asks. "Open it." Inside the box is a gold ring. It's simple but beautiful. "Samuel, we don't have money for this." "Samuel, I saved for 6 months," he says. "Every day I put aside a little money from my teacher salary. Because you deserve something beautiful. You deserve the world." Amara, tears fill her eyes. Happy tears. "You are my world, Samuel. I don't need anything else." First, he puts the ring on her finger. It fits perfectly. "Promise me something," he says. "Never take this ring off. No matter what happens. This ring means we are together forever." "Forever," she repeats. "I promise." They hold each other close. The camera shows their small house. It's not fancy, but it's full of love. That's all they need. Samuel and Amara had been married for 5 years. They didn't have money. They didn't have a big house. They didn't have a car. But they had each other. And that was enough. Samuel was a teacher at a school. He taught children. His monthly salary was very small. But he never complained. Amara sewed clothes at home. She earned a little money. Together, they were happy. Everyone in the community loved them. Because Samuel and Amara always helped others. If someone needed food, they would share their food. If someone needed money, they would give their savings. "God is watching," Samuel would say. "What we do for others, it comes back to us." We see Samuel and Amara at a community meeting. An old woman is crying. My grandson is sick, she says. I need money for hospital, but I have nothing. Everyone looks down. They want to help, but they're all poor too. Samuel stands up. He takes out his wallet. He counts the money. It's all the money they have for this month. Amara watches him. She knows what he's going to do. She smiles and nods. Samuel gives all the money to the old woman. Take this, Mama. Your grandson will be fine. The old woman cries. How will I pay you back? You don't need to pay back, Samuel says. Just pray for us. That's enough. Later that night, Amara and Samuel walk home. They have no money left, but they're holding hands and smiling. We'll eat rice and beans this month, Amara says. Rice and beans with you is better than cake alone, Samuel replies. They laugh together under the stars. These were Samuel and Amara. Simple people. Good-hearted people. They didn't know who Samuel's real family was. They didn't know that Samuel's father was a very big businessman, because Samuel never talked about his past. We see a big mansion 20 years ago. A young boy sits in a huge room. This is young Samuel. He's maybe 18 years old. He's wearing expensive clothes, but he looks sad. An old man walks in. He's wearing a suit. He looks rich and powerful. This is Chief Adebayo, Samuel's father. Samuel, the chief says, tomorrow you start working in my company. I've arranged everything. Father, I don't want to work in business. Young Samuel says, I want to be a teacher. I want to help children learn. The chief's face becomes angry. A teacher? Are you mad? I have built an empire. Millions of dollars. And you want to waste your life teaching poor children? 2. It's not a waste, Father. It's a purpose. Purpose? The chief laughs. A cruel laugh. Money is purpose. Power is purpose. Everything else is foolishness. How? Then I choose foolishness, Samuel says quietly. The chief's face turns red with anger. If you walk out that door, don't come back. You will get nothing from me. Nothing. Young Samuel stands up. He looks at his father with sad eyes. I never wanted your money, Father. I only wanted your love. But I see now, you don't know how to love. You only know how to count money. He walks to the door. Samuel, the chief shouts. If you leave, you are dead to me. Samuel stops at the door. He doesn't turn around. Then I am dead. Goodbye, Father. He walks out. The door closes. The chief stands alone in his big empty mansion. For a moment, his face shows pain. But then, he hardens his heart again. Samuel left his father. He left his property. He left his inheritance. He moved to a small town. He became a teacher. He lived a simple life. Many years later, he met Amara. They fell in love. They got married. But Samuel never told Amara about his father. He didn't want Amara to know that his family was so rich. I have no family, Samuel would say. Only you. You are my family. And that was enough for Amara. We see Samuel and Amara's daily life. Simple, but beautiful moments. Samuel teaching children in school. His face full of joy when a child learns something new. Amara sewing clothes at home. Singing while she works. Both of them cooking dinner together. Dancing in the kitchen. Laughing at silly jokes. Walking to church on Sunday. Holding hands. Greeting neighbors. Sitting on their small porch at night. Looking at stars. Planning their future. One day, Amara says, we'll have children. 2 or 3. They'll have your beautiful smile, Samuel says, and your kind heart. They kiss gently under the moonlight. These were their golden days. Simple happiness. Small little things. But this happiness was about to end very soon. The screen becomes dark. Rain starts falling. We're back to sad colors. Samuel is walking home from school 6 months ago. He's carrying books and papers. He's smiling, thinking about Amara. Waiting at home, a car comes around the corner. Too fast. The driver is drunk. Everything happens in slow motion. Samuel sees the car. His eyes go wide. He tries to jump away, but it's too late. The car hits him. His body flies through the air. Books scatter everywhere. Papers fly in the wind like dead birds. He lands hard on the road. Blood spreads around him like a dark flower. People start screaming. Someone calls for help, but we all know it's too late. And ever so. And so, Amara runs through hospital halls. Her face is white with fear. Tears stream down her face. Samuel, where is my husband? Samuel! A doctor stops her. His face is sad. He doesn't need to say anything. Amara can see it in his eyes. No, she whispers. No, no, no. I'm sorry, the doctor says. We did everything we could. But the injuries were too severe. He didn't make it. Amara's legs give out. She falls to the floor. A sound comes from her throat. Not a scream. Something worse. A sound of pure pain. A sound of a heart breaking into a million pieces. Let me see him, she begs. Please, let me see my husband. They take her to a room. Samuel lies on a bed. He looks peaceful, like he's sleeping. But his chest doesn't move. His hand is cold. Amara holds his hand. She puts her head on his chest. Samuel, she cries. Wake up. Please wake up. You promised. You promised we'd be together forever. You can't leave me. You can't. But Samuel doesn't answer. He never will again. That day, Amara's world ended. Everything she had was gone. Her love, her partner, her dream. Everything in 1 second was finished. The church is full of people. Everyone loved Samuel. Teachers from his school. Students. Neighbors. The whole community came to say goodbye. Amara sits in the front row. She wears a black dress. Her face is empty. She hasn't cried since the hospital. She has no tears left. The pastor speaks. Samuel was a good man. He touched many lives. He will be remembered. But Amara doesn't hear the words. She just stares at the coffin. Inside that box is her whole world. After the funeral, people come to her house. They bring food. They say kind words. He's in a better place now. Time will heal your pain. You're still young. You'll find love again. But their words mean nothing. How can time heal this? How can she ever love again? Samuel was her everything. Days pass, then weeks. The people stop coming. The food runs out. The kind words fade away. Amara sits alone in her house. Bills start piling up. She has no money. Samuel's salary stopped when he died. Her sewing work is not enough. The landlord comes knocking. Mrs. Amara, I'm sorry for your loss. But you haven't paid rent for 2 months. I need the money or you have to leave. Please. Amara begs. Give me more time. I'll find the money. I'll find the money. I've given you time, the landlord says. His voice is not cruel, but it's firm. I have my own family to feed. You have 1 week. 1 week passes. Amara couldn't find the money. The landlord comes back with 2 men. I'm sorry, he says. You have to go now. They put her things on the street. A small bag of clothes, a few pots and pans, a photo of Samuel. That's all she has left. Amara stands on the street watching. Neighbors peek from their windows. But nobody helps. Nobody offers her a place to stay. She picks up her bag. She starts walking. She doesn't know where to go. She has no family. No relatives. Samuel was her only family. Night falls. She finds herself under a bridge. Other homeless people are there. They look at empty eyes. She's one of them now. She lies down on a piece of cardboard. It's dirty and wet. She can smell garbage and urine. This is her bed now. She looks at the ring on her finger. The ring Samuel gave her. The ring she promised never to take off. I kept my promise, Samuel, she whispers. But where are you? Why did you leave me in this hell? The next morning she wakes up cold and hungry. Her whole body hurts from sleeping on the hard ground. An old homeless man sits nearby. He's eating a piece of bread. "You're new here," he says. Amara nods. "First rule," he says, "find food before noon. After that, all the good spots are taken. Churches give food on Wednesdays and Sundays. The market throws away vegetables at closing time. You can eat those if you're fast." "Thank you," Amara says quietly. "Second rule," the man continues. "Stay away from the young boys. They're dangerous. They'll steal whatever you have. Sleep with your bag under your head." Amara looks at her small bag. Inside is one dress, the photo of Samuel, and nothing else. But she nods. "Third rule," the man says. "Don't hope for anything. Hope is poison on the streets. It will kill you slower than hunger." Hit problem. Amara starts her new life. Every morning she wakes up under the bridge. Her body is stiff and sore. Her clothes become dirtier each day. She walks to the market. She stands outside shops with her hand out. "Please," she says. "Just a little food. I'm so hungry." Most people walk past without looking. Some look at her with disgust. A few throw coins at her feet like she's a dog. One woman spits near her. "Get a job, you lazy beggar," Amara wants to say. "I'm not lazy. I lost my husband. I lost my home. I lost everything." But she stays quiet. Her voice doesn't matter anymore. Days turn into weeks. Weeks turn into months. 6 months pass like this. Every day is the same. Wake up cold. Beg for food. Get rejected. Get insulted. Sleep hungry. Repeat. Her hair becomes matted and dirty. Her skin is covered with sores. Her clothes are torn and smell bad. She doesn't look like Amara anymore. She looks like a ghost, but she still wears the ring. Even when she's starving, she never thinks about selling it. It's the last piece of Samuel she has. One day, she's begging outside a big church. Rich people come out after service. They're wearing nice clothes and talking about their Sunday lunch plans. A little girl walks past with her mother. The girl looks at Amara and wrinkles her nose. "Mommy, that lady smells bad." The mother pulls her daughter away quickly. "Don't look at her, sweetie. She's not a good person." Amara's heart breaks a little more. She's not a bad person. She's just unlucky. But nobody sees that. They only see a dirty beggar. That night she returns to the bridge. She's so tired, so hungry, so broken. She looks across the river. There's a big mansion on the hill. Lights shine from every window. She wonders what it's like to live there, to have food every day, to sleep in a warm bed, to be treated like a human being. But that world is not for her. That world is a million miles away. She closes her eyes. She touches her ring. "Samuel," she whispers, "if you can hear me from heaven, please help me. I can't do this anymore. I'm so tired." A tear rolls down her dirty cheek. She doesn't know that tomorrow, everything will change. She doesn't know that inside that mansion on the hill, a man has been searching for her desperately for 6 months. She doesn't know that she's about to become the richest woman in the country. But tonight she's just a broken widow sleeping under a bridge in the rain. Inside the mansion on the hill, an old man sits in a wheelchair. His name is Chief Adebayo. He looks very sick. His face is thin and gray. His hands shake, but his eyes are still sharp, still searching. A young man in a suit stands beside him. "This is Mr. Okonkwo, the chief's lawyer." "Any news?" the chief asks. His voice is weak but urgent. "No, sir," Mr. Okonkwo says sadly. "We've searched everywhere. We've asked everyone. But nobody knows where she is." The chief hits his wheelchair with his fist. Even this small movement makes him tired. 6 months, he says. 6 months. I've been looking for my son's wife. How can a person just disappear? "Sir, maybe she left the country. Maybe she doesn't want to be found." "No," the chief says firmly. "Samuel loved her. If he loved her, she must be a good woman. She wouldn't just run away. Something happened to her. Something bad. He looks out the window at the city below. Somewhere out there is his daughter-in-law, the only family he has left. Keep searching, he says. I don't care how much it costs. Find her. I need to find her before I die. The chief wasn't always like this. 20 years ago, when Samuel left, the chief was angry. He cut his son out of his life completely. I have no son, he told everyone. Samuel is dead to me. He threw himself into his business. He made more money, built more companies, became more powerful. But inside, he was empty. Years passed. The chief never married again after Samuel's mother died. He had no other children. He was alone in his big mansion with his money and his pride. Then one day, 5 years ago, he saw something on the news. A teacher won an award for excellence in education. The teacher's name was Samuel Adebayo. The chief's heart stopped. Could it be? After all these years? He sent people to investigate. They came back with photos. Yes, it was his son, his Samuel, living in a small town, teaching children, married to a woman named Amara. The chief looked at the photos for hours. Samuel looked happy, really happy, happier than he ever looked in the mansion. The chief wanted to reach out. He wanted to say sorry, but his pride stopped him. He left me, the chief thought. If he wants to come back, he should come to me first. So he waited. And waited. But Samuel never came. Then 6 months ago, the chief got very sick. The doctors said he had cancer. They said he had maybe 1 year to live. Maybe less. Suddenly, all the money didn't matter. All the pride didn't matter. The chief realized he wasted 20 years being angry at his only son. Find Samuel, he told his lawyer. Bring him to me. I need to see him before I die. I need to see him. I need to see him. Before I die. The lawyer went to the small town. He found Samuel's house. He knocked on the door. But the neighbors told him the terrible news. Samuel died in a car accident 3 months ago. The lawyer returned to the mansion. He had to tell the chief that his son was dead. The chief didn't cry. He just sat very still for a long time. Then he said quietly, I waited too long. I was too proud. And now he's gone forever. For days, the chief didn't eat. Didn't sleep. Just sat in his wheelchair, staring at nothing. Then he asked, what about his wife? Samuel's wife Amara? I don't know, sir. The house was empty. The neighbors said she disappeared after the funeral. He was not 2,000. 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 Find her, the chief said. She's all I have left of Samuel. Find her and bring her to me. That was 6 months ago. Since then, the chief has spent millions of dollars searching for Amara. Private investigators, advertisements, rewards, everything. But Amara seemed to have vanished from the earth. The chief looks at a photo on his desk. It's the only photo he has of Samuel and Amara together. Samuel is smiling. His arm is around Amara. They both look so happy. I'm sorry, my son, the chief whispers to the photo. I'm sorry I was such a fool. I'm sorry I chose money over you. I'm sorry I never got to meet your wife. I'm sorry for everything. A tear rolls down his wrinkled cheek. But I promise you, he says. I will find Amara. I will take care of her. I will give her everything I should have given you. This is my last chance to do something right. Mr. Okonkwo watches the chief with sad eyes. He knows the old man doesn't have much time left. The cancer is spreading fast. Sir, Mr. Okonkwo says gently, maybe you should rest. The search can continue tomorrow. No, the chief says. Every day I waste is a day Amara might be suffering. I failed my son. I won't fail her too. He turns to the lawyer. Tomorrow, I want you to search the streets, the homeless shelters, the hospitals, everywhere poor people go. Maybe she's there. The streets, sir? But she was a respectable woman. Why would she be on the streets? Because life is cruel, the chief says. Because when you lose everything, the world throws you away like garbage. I know this now. I learned it too late, but I know it. He looks out the window again at the city lights. She's out there somewhere. Cold. Hungry. Alone. While I sit here in my mansion with more money than I can spend. It's not right. It's not fair. We'll find her, sir, Mr. Okonkwo promises. I'll personally search every street tomorrow. Thank you. The chief says, You're a good man. Better than me. Thank you. Thank you. That night, the chief can't sleep. He keeps thinking about Samuel, about all the years they lost, about all the things he never said. I love you, son, he whispers into the darkness. I always loved you. I was just too stupid to show it, too proud to say it. And now you're gone, and I can never tell you. He closes his eyes. Tears flow freely now, but I can still help Amara. I can still do this one thing right. Please, God, let me find her. Let me make up for my mistakes. Just this one thing. Then I can die in peace. The next morning, Mr. Okonkwo starts his search. He takes 2 assistants with him. They drive through the poor parts of the city. They stop at homeless shelters. They show Amara's photo to everyone. Have you seen this woman? Most people shake their heads. Some don't even look at the photo. They're too busy with their own problems. They search all day. Nothing. The next day, they search again. And the next day, and the next. A week passes. Then 2 weeks. Still nothing. Mr. Okonkwo is starting to lose hope. Maybe Amara really did leave the country. Maybe she's dead. Maybe they'll never find her. But he can't tell this to the chief. The old man's health is getting worse every day. Finding Amara is the only thing keeping him alive. Meanwhile, under the bridge, Amara doesn't know any of this. She doesn't know that someone is searching for her. She doesn't know that a dying old man is spending millions to find her. She doesn't even know that Samuel had a father. That Samuel came from a rich family. Samuel never told her. He wanted to protect her from that world. He wanted their love to be pure, not complicated by money and family drama. But now his silence has trapped her. Nobody knows to look for Samuel Adebayo's wife, because nobody knew Samuel was Chief Adebayo's son. The connection is broken. The chief searches for Amara. Amara suffers alone, and neither knows how close they are to each other. Just a river separates them. The chief in his mansion on the hill. Amara, under the bridge below. So close. But it might as well be 1,000,000 miles. The rain keeps falling. Time keeps passing. And both of them are running out of time. Amara wakes up shivering. The morning is cold and foggy. Her body aches everywhere. She tries to stand, but her legs are weak. Mama Ngozi is already awake, organizing her small collection of plastic bottles. Good morning, my daughter. How do you feel today? Tired. So tired, Mama. Mama Ngozi touches Amara's forehead. It's burning hot. You have fever again. This is the 3rd time this week. You need medicine. Real medicine from a hospital. No money for hospital. I'll be fine. You won't be fine. Look at you. You're getting sicker every day. If we don't do something, you'll die under this bridge. Amara closes her eyes. Maybe dying wouldn't be so bad. At least then she could be with Samuel again. Don't think like that. Your husband wouldn't want you to give up. He would want you to fight. To survive. But why? What am I surviving for? I have nothing. No home. No family. No future. What's the point? 1. Mama Ngozi sits beside her. She takes Amara's hand. Listen to me carefully. I've lived on these streets for 15 years. I've seen hundreds of people come and go. Some give up and die. Others keep fighting and survive. You know what the difference is? Amara shakes her head. Hope. The ones who survive are the ones who keep hoping. Even when everything looks impossible. Even when death seems easier. They hope. I don't know how to hope anymore. Then let me hope for you. until you're strong enough to hope for yourself. Deal? Friendsting. Friends. Then let me hope for yourself. Deal? Amara nods weakly. Good. Now rest. I'm going to find you some medicine. Even if I have to beg every person in this city. The chief is getting worse. He can barely lift his head from the pillow. The doctor stands beside his bed, checking his vital signs. How long? The doctor hesitates. Maybe 2 weeks. Maybe less. The cancer has spread to your liver now. 2 weeks. Have you found her? Not yet, sir. But we're still searching. Every day. I have 2 weeks to find my son's wife. 2 weeks to make things right. Sir, maybe you should focus on your health. My health? I'm dying, Okonkwo. Nothing can change that. But finding Amara, that's something I can still do. That's the only thing that matters now. He tries to sit up, but falls back, exhausted. Double the search teams. Triple them. I don't care about the cost. Search every corner of this city. She's out there. I know she is. Yes, sir. I'll organize more teams today. After the lawyer leaves, the chief looks at Samuel's photo again. I'm trying, son. I'm trying so hard to find her. Please. Give me a sign. Show me where she is. Mr. Okonkwo and his team are searching the market area. They show Amara's photo to vendors, beggars, everyone. An old woman selling vegetables looks at the photo carefully. Wait, I think I've seen her. Yes. She comes here sometimes. Begging for food. Woo! Mr. Okonkwo's heart races. When? When did you last see her? Maybe. 3 days ago? 4 days? I'm not sure. Time blurs when you're old. Where does she stay? Do you know? The woman points toward the river. Somewhere near the bridge, I think. I've seen her walking from that direction. The bridge! Come! We need to search near the river bridge. They rush toward the bridge area. They search the streets nearby. They ask everyone they meet. But they don't think to look under the bridge. They search around it, near it, but not underneath it. They're so close to Amara. Just meters away. But they miss her. After hours of searching, they give up for the day. We'll come back tomorrow. She's in this area. I'm sure of it now. Mama Ngozi returns with a small bottle of medicine. She managed to beg enough money to buy fever tablets from a pharmacy. Here, take these. They'll help with the fever. Amara swallows the tablets with some water. Thank you, Mama. You're too kind to me. Ha! Nonsense. This is what family does. We take care of each other. Family. The word feels strange. She hasn't had family in so long. That night, as Amara tries to sleep, she dreams of Samuel. He's standing in bright light, smiling at her. Don't give up. Something good is coming. Just hold on a little longer. But I'm so tired. I don't know if I can hold on. You can. You're stronger than you think. And you're not alone. Help is coming. What help? From where? But Samuel just smiles and fades away. Amara wakes up crying. It was just a dream. Just her mind. Playing tricks. Or was it? The chief wakes up with new determination. Despite his weakness, despite the pain, he refuses to stay in bed. Help me to my wheelchair. I'm going out today. Sir, the doctor said. I don't care what the doctor said. I'm going to search for Amara myself. I've been sitting here giving orders while she suffers. No more. I'm going to find her with my own eyes. Mr. Okonkwo tries to convince him to stay home. Amara woke up shivering. The morning was cold and foggy, and her body ached everywhere. She tried to stand, but her legs felt weak, almost useless beneath her. Mama Ngozi was already awake, sorting through her small collection of plastic bottles and scraps. Good morning, my daughter, Mama Ngozi said softly. How do you feel today? Tired, Amara whispered. So tired, Mama. Mama Ngozi touched Amara's forehead. It was burning hot. You have fever again, she said, worry filling her eyes. This is the 3rd time this week. You need medicine. Real medicine from a hospital. No money for hospital, Amara said weakly. I'll be fine. You won't be fine. Mama Ngozi's voice rose. Look at you. You're getting sicker every day. If we don't do something, you'll die under this bridge." Amara closed her eyes. For a brief moment, the thought of dying didn't scare her. At least then, she could be with Samuel again. "Don't think like that," Mama Ngozi said, as if she could read her heart. "Your husband wouldn't want you to give up. He would want you to fight, to survive." "But why?" Amara asked quietly. "What am I surviving for? I have nothing. No home. No family. No future. What's the point?" Mama Ngozi slowly sat down beside her and took her hand. "Listen to me carefully," she said. "I've lived on these streets for 15 years. I've seen hundreds of people come and go. Some give up and die. Others keep fighting and survive. Do you know what the difference is?" Amara shook her head. "Hope," Mama Ngozi said. "The ones who survive are the ones who keep hoping. Even when everything looks impossible. Even when death seems easier. They still hope." "I don't know how to hope anymore," Amara said, tears slipping down her cheeks. "Then let me hope for you," Mama Ngozi said firmly, "until you're strong enough to hope for yourself. Deal?" Amara looked at her and nodded weakly. "Good," Mama Ngozi said. "Now rest. I'm going to find you some medicine. Even if I have to beg every person in this city." She stood up and walked away, leaving Amara lying there, staring at the cold concrete above her. Far across the city, the chief could barely lift his head from the pillow. His breathing was heavy, each inhale a struggle. The doctor stood beside his bed, checking his vital signs with a grave expression. "How long?" the chief asked. The doctor hesitated. "Maybe 2 weeks. Maybe less. The cancer has spread to your liver now." 2 weeks, the chief repeated slowly. He turned his head toward Mr. Okonkwo. "Have you found her?" "Not yet, sir," Mr. Okonkwo replied. "But we're still searching. Every day. 2 weeks." The chief murmured again. "I have 2 weeks to find my son's wife. 2 weeks to make things right. 2. Sir, maybe you should focus on your health." "My health?" The chief let out a bitter laugh. "I'm dying, Okonkwo. Nothing can change that. But finding Amara, that's something I can still do. That's the only thing that matters now." He tried to sit up but fell back, exhausted. His hands trembled as he pointed toward the door. "Double the search teams," he ordered. "Triple them. I don't care about the cost. Search every corner of this city. She's out there. I know she is." "Yes, sir," Mr. Okonkwo said. "I'll organize more teams today." After the lawyer left, the chief's gaze drifted to Samuel's photograph on the bedside table. He reached out with shaking fingers and touched the frame. "I'm trying, son," he whispered. "I'm trying so hard to find her. Please, give me a sign. Show me where she is." Later that day, Mr. Okonkwo and his team moved through a crowded market, the air filled with the sounds of bargaining and shouting. He held Amara's photo in his hand, showing it to anyone who would look. "Have you seen this woman?" he asked a fruit seller. The man shook his head. He tried again with an old woman selling vegetables on a wooden table at the corner. She adjusted her glasses and squinted at the photo, studying it carefully. "Wait," she said slowly. "I think I've seen her. Yes. She comes here sometimes, begging for food." Mr. Okonkwo's heart began to race. "When? When did you last see her?" "Maybe 3 days ago?" 4, the woman replied. "I'm not sure. Time blurs when you're old." "Do you know where she stays?" "Which direction she comes from?" The woman pointed toward the river. "Somewhere near the bridge, I think. I've seen her walking from that direction." The bridge," Mr. Okonkwo said quickly, turning to his assistants. "Come. We need to search near the river bridge." They rushed toward the bridge area. They searched the streets, the corners, the alleys nearby. They showed the photo to everyone they met. Some people shook their heads. Others barely looked, but no one thought to look under the bridge. They searched around it, near it, Beside it, but not beneath it, where Amara sat with her few belongings. After hours of walking and questioning people, Mr. Okonkwo wiped the sweat from his forehead and sighed. "We'll come back tomorrow," he said to his team. "She's in this area. I'm sure of it now." They turned away, their footsteps slowly fading, leaving the bridge behind them. As evening approached, Mama Ngozi returned under the bridge, holding a small packet in her hand. "I got you some medicine," she said, kneeling beside Amara. "Fever tablets. The pharmacist gave me a discount when I begged him long enough." She took out 2 tablets and placed them in Amara's palm. "Take these. They'll help with the fever, at least a little." Amara swallowed the tablets with a sip of water. "Thank you, Mama. You're too kind to me." "Nonsense," Mama Ngozi replied. "This is what family does. We take care of each other. Family." Amara repeated softly, as if tasting the word for the first time in years. She hadn't had anyone to call family for so long that the word felt almost unfamiliar. That night, as she lay on the cold ground, Amara drifted into a restless sleep. In her dream, Samuel stood before her, surrounded by a soft, bright light. He looked healthy, strong, and smiling. "Don't give up," he said gently. "Something good is coming. Just hold on a little longer." But I'm so tired," Amara said in the dream. "I don't know if I can hold on." You can," Samuel replied. "You're stronger than you think. And you're not alone. Help is coming." "Help? What help?" "From where?" she asked, but Samuel only smiled sadly and began to fade away, the light dissolving around him. Amara woke up with tears on her face. Her heart ached. It was just a dream, she told herself. Just her mind playing tricks. Or was it something more? The next morning, the chief woke up with a new kind of determination burning inside him. The pain was still there, his body still weak, but his spirit refused to stay in bed any longer. "Help me to my wheelchair," he told the nurse. "Sir, the doctor said you should rest." "I don't care what the doctor said," the chief interrupted, his voice surprisingly firm. "I'm going out today. I've been lying here giving orders while she suffers on the streets. No more. I'm going to search for Amara myself." The nurse looked helplessly at Mr. Okonkwo, but the chief was resolute. There was no changing his mind. "Prepare the car," the chief ordered. "We're going to the bridge area. That's where the vendor saw her. That's where we'll find her." They lifted him carefully into his wheelchair, and then into a special van. Mr. Okonkwo, the nurse, and 2 assistants accompanied him as they drove through the city. For the first time in a long while, the chief truly looked out of the window. He saw narrow streets, broken houses, children running barefoot, women carrying heavy loads on their heads, men sleeping on sidewalks. "All this time," he murmured, almost to himself. "All these years, I drove past this suffering and never saw it. Never cared. I was blind." They reached the area near the river bridge and parked. Mr. Okonkwo helped the chief into his wheelchair and adjusted the blanket over his lap. "Which way?" the chief asked. "The vendor said she walks from near the bridge." Mr. Okonkwo replied, "Let's start asking people around here." The greed said the black. They moved slowly through the area, the chief insisting on asking people himself. "Excuse me," he said to a street vendor. His voice was weak but steady. "Have you seen this woman?" He held up Amara's photo. The man glanced at it briefly and shook his head. "Sorry, sir. Never seen her. Never seen her." They asked more people. 10, 15, 20. No one recognized her. Some barely looked at the photo, too busy with their own struggles to care. The chief's breathing grew heavier. The nurse begged him to rest, but he waved her off. "Just a little more," he said. "Just a few more people." They were near the bridge now, so close that if Amara had stepped out from under it, they might have seen each other across the road. But heavy traffic roared between them. Buses, trucks, cars, all honking loudly. "Sir, please," the nurse said softly. "You need to rest. We can continue tomorrow." The chief looked at the bridge. Something tugged at his heart like a whisper. A strange feeling, almost like a quiet voice inside him, telling him that he was close. "Wait," he said slowly. "The bridge. Has anyone searched under the bridge?" Mr. Okonkwo paused, surprised. "Under it? No, sir. We searched around it, but not underneath. Homeless people often sleep under bridges," the chief said. "Let's check there." But, they began to move toward the crossing. At that exact moment, a piercing siren cut through the air. A police car sped past them. There had been an accident up ahead. Within minutes, the entire road was blocked. Officers blew whistles and shouted instructions, forcing everyone back from the crossing. "We can't cross now," the driver said. "The road is blocked. We'll have to wait until they clear the accident." "He can't cross. He can't cross." The chief stared at the bridge, his heart pounding. It was right there, just across the road. Under that concrete, he felt certain. Something waited for him. "Please," he whispered, more to God than to anyone around him. "Please let me reach her." But the traffic remained frozen. Cars stood still. People gathered to watch. And the police kept everyone away from the road. "Sir, we should come back tomorrow," Mr. Okonkwo said gently. "You're too weak, and this stress is not good for you." The chief wanted to argue. He wanted to demand that they push through, to scream until someone listened. But his body betrayed him. A violent cough shook his chest. The nurse hurried to give him medicine, and his breathing became labored and uneven. "All right," he said at last, defeated. "Take me home. But tomorrow we search under that bridge first thing. Promise me." "I promise, sir," Mr. Okonkwo replied. They turned back toward the van and slowly drove away, never knowing how close they had come. Under the bridge, Amara heard the distant police sirens and the chaotic noise above her horns. Shouting. The screech of brakes. For a moment, she considered going up to see what was happening, but years on the streets had taught her to avoid noise and crowds. Police, accidents, large gatherings, none of it ever meant anything good for people like her. She stayed where she was, leaning against the cold pillar, trying to keep her blanket wrapped tightly around her thin body. "Today was madness," Mama Ngozi said as she came back, carrying a small plastic bag with a little food inside. "Some big accident on the road. Rich people in fancy cars everywhere. I even saw one old man in a wheelchair, asking everyone questions. Showing some photo." Amara barely reacted. Rich people and their strange worries no longer had anything to do with her world. She took the small share of food Mama Ngozi gave her, and ate slowly. Her body was tired. Her heart even more so. Above them, on the road, the chief's van disappeared into the distance. Two lives moved in circles around each other. Two people searching for a connection, for forgiveness, for hope. They were so close that a single shout could have brought them together. But fate, for now, kept them apart. For now, Amara sat quietly, her hands shaking a little. The room felt too small, too full of new words like inheritance, mansion, and billionaire. None of those words felt real to her. Only one thing felt real. Samuel was gone. Mama Ngozi watched her carefully. "My child," she said softly. Amara looked up, eyes red but clear. "I want to see him," she whispered. "See who?" Mama Ngozi asked, already knowing the answer. "Chief," Amara said. "I want to see Chief before he dies." Silence fell over the room. The lawyer shifted uncomfortably in his seat. Mama Ngozi's face tightened with pain and anger. "Amara," she said, her voice firm. "That man destroyed our lives. Because of him, Samuel is dead. Because of him, you suffered on the streets. Why would you go to him now?" Tears filled Amara's eyes, but her voice was steady. "Because if I don't go, I'll carry this anger forever. And I'm tired, Mama. I am so tired. The lawyer cleared his throat gently. Chief is in the hospital. His health is very bad. He asked if he could see you. He knows who you are now. Of course he knows, Mama Ngozi muttered bitterly. Now that he is dying, he remembers the people he broke. Amara's heart pounded. Images flashed in her mind, Samuel laughing as he fixed a torn shoe. Samuel holding her hand in the shelter. Samuel sharing their last piece of bread with a crying child on the street. Do you remember what Samuel used to say, Mama? Amara asked quietly. What? Mama Ngozi asked, wiping a tear she didn't want anyone to see. He said, if we let hatred live in our hearts, then we are still chained, even if no rope is on our hands. Amara swallowed hard. I don't want to be chained anymore. I don't want to be chained anymore. Mama Ngozi looked at her for a long time. There was so much in that look. Fear, love, anger, and pride. Finally, she sighed. If you go, she said slowly, I will go with you. I will not let you face that man alone. Amara gave a small, grateful nod. The lawyer stood up. I'll have the car prepared, he said. The ride to the hospital was quiet. Outside the window, the city moved like a dream. Cars, vendors, people walking fast, people sitting and waiting, children running and laughing. Not long ago, Amara had been one of those people on the street, invisible to everyone. Now she was in the back of a black car, people turning their heads as it passed. It didn't feel like a blessing. It felt heavy. Too heavy. Fourths, at the hospital, the air smelled of medicine and something sad. Nurses moved quickly in the hallway. A monitor beeped in a nearby room. A doctor brought them to Chief's ward. He spoke softly. He is very weak, the doctor said. Please, do not stay too long. Mama Ngozi straightened her shoulders. We will stay as long as necessary, she replied. They entered the room. Chief lay on the bed, thinner than Amara remembered. His strong, proud face was now pale, his eyes sunken, his hair almost completely gray. Machines hummed beside him. An oxygen tube rested under his nose. The man who had once seemed larger than life now looked small under the white sheets. For a moment, Amara could not move. This was the man who had thrown them out. The man whose anger had pushed Samuel to despair. The man whose power had crushed their hope. But this was also a dying man, a mortal man, a man who could no longer hide behind guards, money, and big gates. Chief's eyes opened slowly. When he saw Amara, his lips trembled. He tried to speak, but his voice came out rough and broken. Amara, he whispered. Her name in his mouth sounded strange. Once, he had called her girl, or you people, with coldness. Now, he said Amara, like he was asking for mercy. She stepped closer to the bed. Mama Ngozi stayed by the door, watching every move, her hands clenched into fists. You came, Chief said, breathing heavily. I didn't think you would. Amara swallowed. You asked for me. Chief closed his eyes for a moment, gathering strength. I have done many terrible things in my life, he said. But what I did to you, to your family, it haunts me. I thought money could fix anything. I thought power made me untouchable. But it did not protect me from myself. He coughed, his whole body shuddering. Amara took a step closer without thinking. I remember that day, Chief continued weakly. The rain, the shouting, you standing in front of your husband, begging me. I saw your fear, but I was angry, proud. I thought, this is my house, my rules, my name. I pushed you out like you were nothing. His eyes filled with tears. And now I see, you were everything. Amara felt a knot in her throat. The memory of that day washed over her. The slippery floor. Samuel's shaking hands. The cold rain hitting her face as the gate closed on them forever. "You ruined us," she said softly. "You took Samuel's job. Our home. Our safety. We slept under bridges. We went hungry. We were treated like trash." "I know," Chief whispered, his voice breaking. "I know. There is no excuse. I cannot undo what I did. I cannot bring Samuel back." Samuel's name hung in the air like a ghost. Chief turned his head slowly, looking into Amara's eyes. "The lawyer told me what happened to him. How he struggled. How you both suffered. I have been lying in this bed, thinking of all the nights you spent in the cold, while I slept on soft pillows. My heart—" He closed his eyes in pain. "My heart has been heavy, heavier than this sickness." For a long moment no one spoke. The beeping of the machine was the only sound. Finally, Chief whispered, "I left everything to you, Amara. The house, the companies, the land. People will say it is too much. People will say you do not deserve it. But I know the truth." His eyes shone with tears. "You deserve more than I could ever give." Amara's voice shook. "Why me?" Me. "Because," Chief replied, "when I watched you from the car that day, at the bridge, I saw you give your food to a stranger who was hungrier than you. You had nothing, yet you still gave. You had every right to hate the world, but you still chose kindness. I realized then that wealth cannot be trusted in the hands of someone like me. It belongs with someone like you." Amara lowered her head. She remembered that day. She remembered the woman with the little child under the bridge, shivering with cold, and how she had given them half of what she and Samuel were supposed to share. Her chest hurt. Not from anger now, but from something deeper. Something like grief and responsibility, mixed together. "I don't know how to carry all of this," she whispered. "The house, the money, the pain, your name. You don't have to carry my name," Chief said weakly. "Make your own. Build something better than I did. Use what I leave you to heal, not to destroy. That is all I ask." He looked at her, eyes pleading. Can you forgive me, Amara?" The room felt suddenly very still. Mama Ngozi shifted by the door, breathing hard. Her eyes were wet, but she shook her head slightly, as if warning Amara not to say yes too easily. Amara closed her eyes. In the darkness behind her eyelids, she saw Samuel again smiling at her, placing his rough, warm hand on her cheek. "Amara," his voice echoed in her mind. "If one person chooses kindness when they have every reason to be cruel, they break a chain for themselves and for others." She opened her eyes slowly. "Chief," she said, her voice low but clear, "I cannot forget what you did. I will carry the scars forever, but I will not carry hatred anymore." A single tear slipped down her cheek. "I forgive you," she whispered. Chief's face crumpled. He began to cry, the sound weak and broken. "Thank you," he breathed. "Thank you, child. You have given me more than any doctor, any priest, any lawyer ever did. You have given me peace." His breathing grew heavier. The monitor beeped more slowly. "Amara," he whispered. "One more thing." She leaned closer. "Do not let this wealth change your heart," he said. "The world will try to pull you into darkness. Hold on to who you were, under that bridge." His hand trembled slightly on the bed. Amara hesitated, then gently took it in both of hers. It was cold, but she held it firmly. "I will try," she said. His eyes closed. And this time, they did not open again. The beeping sound on the monitor turned into one long, flat line. A nurse rushed in, then a doctor. They checked, spoke softly to each other, pressed a few buttons, and then one of them turned to Amara. "I'm sorry," the doctor said. "He's gone." Amara felt strangely calm. A part of her had expected to feel joy, or victory, or something sharp and hot. Instead, she felt empty, but lighter, like a wound that had finally been cleaned, even though it still hurt. Mama Ngozi walked over slowly. She looked at Chief's still body, then at Amara. "You forgave him," she said quietly. "Yes," Amara replied. "Do you regret it?" Amara thought for a moment. "No. I think Samuel would have wanted this." Avmara. Mama Ngozi's hard face softened. "Then it is enough," she said. Days turned into weeks. The lawyers worked, papers were signed. People came and went. Some looked at Amara with fake smiles. Others with open jealousy. Rumors spread through the city like smoke about the homeless widow who became the heir of a billionaire. One bright morning, Amara stood in front of the mansion again. The same tall gates, the same long driveway, the same house that had once thrown her out, now stood open, waiting for her. The guard at the gate bowed respectfully. "Madam," he said, pressing the button to open the gate. The word madam felt strange on her ears. As the car rolled inside, memories rushed back the day she had left in the rain, clutching a small bag of clothes. Samuel beside her. She stepped out of the car slowly and walked up the stairs. The door opened, and the smell of polished wood and expensive perfume washed over her. The floor was clean, shining, not cold and dirty like the ground under the bridge. Servants stood, lined up, heads bowed, ready to serve her. It all felt unreal. Later, alone in one of the many large rooms, Amara looked out of a wide window. The garden outside was beautiful, green lawns, bright flowers, a small fountain singing softly. Her reflection looked back at her in the glass. Same eyes, same face, but everything around her had changed. Mama Ngozi entered the room quietly. "You have been standing here for a long time," she said. Amara smiled weakly. "I still don't know how to live here, Mama. This house feels like it belongs to another life, another world." Mama Ngozi walked up beside her. "It is your house now," she said. "But it doesn't have to be like his house. It can be different. You can fill it with different stories." Amara turned to her. "Mama, what if I make mistakes? What if I become proud? What if this money makes me blind, like it did to him?" Mama Ngozi reached out and held her hand. "Then remember where you came from," she said firmly. "Remember the bridge. Remember the hunger. Remember the nights we prayed for just one warm blanket. Let those memories guide you, not shame you." Amara nodded slowly. "I want this house to be open," she said after a moment. "Not like before. Not a prison of gold. I want it to be a place of refuge. I want it to be a place of refuge." "What do you mean?" Mama Ngozi asked, curious. "I mean," Amara said, her eyes brightening a little. "How many nights did we have nowhere to go? How many people are sleeping outside right now? The way we did. What if this house could be a shelter for them?" Mama Ngozi stared at her, surprised. Then a small smile tugged at her lips. "You really are Samuel's wife," she said softly. "His heart lives in you." "Ah." Amara smiled, and this time it reached her eyes. Weeks passed, and slowly, the mansion changed. The heavy silence of the halls was broken by the sound of children's laughter. Rooms that had once been locked were opened to widows, orphans, and people with nowhere else to go. Long tables in the dining room were filled with simple but warm meals, shared by people who had once been strangers on the street. Amara walked among them, not as a queen on a throne, but as a sister. She listened to their stories, held their hands, cried with them, and sometimes laughed with them. She set up programs to help them learn skills, find work, and rebuild their lives. Some rich neighbors whispered that she was being foolish. Some called her the crazy widow who turned a palace into a shelter. Others, quietly, began to respect her. One evening, Amara stood in the garden, watching the sunset paint the sky in orange and gold. The sound of children playing floated through the air. A cool breeze touched her face. And for the first time in a long time, she felt something close to peace. She walked to a small corner of the garden where she had asked the workers to place a simple stone. On it were engraved just a few words, "In memory of Samuel, a kind man in a cruel world." Amara knelt in front of the stone, her fingers tracing his name. "Samuel," she whispered. "We're home now. Not the home we lost, but a new one. And this time, we will not be alone." A tear slid down her cheek. But she was smiling. Behind her, Mama Ngozi called out, "Amara, the new family just arrived. The little girl is shy. She might need you." Amara stood up, wiped her eyes, and took a deep breath. The pain of the past was still there, but it no longer controlled her. It had become the fuel for something better. "I'm coming, Mama," she replied. She took one last look at the stone, at Samuel's name, and then turned toward the house. Her house now, alive with new stories, new hopes, and new beginnings. As she walked back, barefoot on the soft grass, she knew something with quiet certainty. Life had taken everything from her, but with forgiveness, courage, and a heart that refused to harden, she had found a way to turn loss into light for herself, and for many others who had once been lost in the dark. Just like her. If you enjoyed this story, consider subscribing for Kairo Tales.